Hello, lovelies. Well, it's the end of the day, end of a long day. I started today by recording an EFT about momentum rather than motivation. And then I followed that up with recording a podcast about it because I had developed some of that momentum and I was ready to do more. And then at some point during the day, I did another one because I felt inspired. So I'm so glad that I started and that I built that momentum and put into practice my own beliefs. That is when you sit down and get started, you get that energy and you get that momentum. So it's the end of the day. I'm a little bit tired, but I want to talk about morning routines and alignment. And I thought about doing it because I was thinking about what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm a bit in between morning routines at the moment. It's almost the start of the new year, so it's a time to be thinking about it. There is a beautiful, just golden light streaming in. It's kind of, I guess it's sunset, but it's not like the colored sky sunset part. It's the golden, beautiful part. So, morning routine. So the thing about being ADHD is it can be hard to do the same thing every day. We can get bored. But for those of us who are on the autism spectrum as well, or neurodiverse in other ways, or just for ADHD as pure ADHD as if you have autism as well, you want that structured routine. If you have ADHD, you kind of need a little bit of stability, right? And I wondered for so long what was going on with, like, I tried so hard before I knew I had ADHD to be getting into these morning routines, and then I would slip back and lose them. And then I would find something else that was new and novel, and I'd get back into it. But I wondered why I couldn't stick with anything, and that's because we operate on novelty as well as a few other things as well. We don't have such innate motivation quite the same way as other people because of how our dopamine works. We can't just say, okay, we're going to do a thing and do it. We are motivated by challenge, urgency, interest, passion, which I think is just interest, and novelty. And I find that novelty is a really powerful one, perhaps the most powerful one for me, because when something's new, shiny new object, right? It's super interesting and challenge can be great too, but challenge I find needs either interest or novelty as well. So personally, for my mornings, okay, firstly, morning routines are so important for an ADHD person or a neurodiverse person because they set you up for the day. They set up your thoughts, your emotions, and your energy. And they say that the first 20 minutes of the day sets the tone for the rest of the day. If you wake up stressed and grumpy and negative, or if something negative happens to you straight away, it can lead you on like a downward spiral throughout the day. Whereas if you start on a high note, in a good mood, it can set you up for a good day. So even that first 20 minutes, just starting in a really positive way or some kind of way that sets you up positively. So the morning routine has been found to be really good for like long-term emotional balance throughout the day. EFT is a really great tool that I love because it is a mindset and a physical embodiment at the same time. And that has shown to give lasting emotional balance throughout the day. Meditation can be great, but for the ADHD brain, meditation can be really difficult. I like guided meditations. Sometimes I like hypnosis, but I tend to get bored of them. Whereas EFT, I find it a little bit more engaging. I like to do it in a class with another teacher, like follow a video from somebody else, or sometimes I follow my own videos because it has that visual aspect. I have that step-by-step instruction as I go along, and it's really easy. It's just tapping and you can easily do it. You can do it sitting down, you can do it if you're tired, I like to do it on the treadmill because then I'm moving my body at the same time. And it just seems to be hitting multiple points at once. My thoughts, my emotions, and my body all get into alignment and set me up for a really positive day. And it's also working on those subconscious beliefs and helping on a deeper level, helping on a more long-term level. So it feels productive and worthwhile as well. I also love a 30-day challenge. I love to follow along with 30-day yoga challenges or similar challenges like that because they have that structure of that 30 days, and I love the challenge of trying to get all the days in a row. 30 days is a great amount of time because it's not so long that I get bored, but it's not it's not so long that I get bored, but it's long enough to get into a pattern and not be questioning what I'm doing every day. Because I find that questioning what I'm doing every day, that makes it hard because decision making is an executive function. So that can tire us out, that can be overwhelming, it can be anxiety inducing as well. So having at least some kind of structure and knowing what I'm going to get up and do, which is why I like the EFT as well, because I get up, I go on my treadmill in the morning and I can have EFT on and do EFT, or I can do shoulder stretches with an armband, or I can do something else that's kind of surrounded around getting on the treadmill. I can hop off the treadmill after 5 minutes and just do some other stretches as well. But it's got that flexibility while having the structure of this is the time that I'm going to do something with my body. So the yoga is another phase that I've been through before, is just getting up and going straight to do yoga. But one thing that can happen if you do a 30-day challenge, and this happens for neurotypicals as well, once the 30 days are up, you stop doing it because you've completed the challenge. So it can be good to plan another challenge and start another one straight away. But if you need that novelty, change it to something else. I've gone through a whole different range of things that I like to do in the morning. I've liked to do Qigong, I've liked to do the treadmill, like I said. I love to do dance fitness, dance aerobics. I love Kinergy in particular. Trying to think what else I've liked to do. At different times in my life, it's not been exercise. When I was younger, I would get up and do keyboard straight away, or do art, or do sewing pencil cases, or do whatever different hobbies that I had at the time. So think about what it is that you want to achieve. I would recommend doing something to wake your body up and something for your mind as well, because that's what really aligns us and sets us up for a good day. Both those things kind of tie into emotions. It's really important to start the day with good emotions as well. I find that if I just let my brain have like free reign in the mornings, it doesn't always have the best thoughts. It can kind of go all over the place and lead to like things that I need to do, or like anxiety things, because of how our brains are wired to set us up to look for threats and make sure that, we have our lives together. It can direct us towards the more negative thinking or productive thinking, or whatever it may be. You could just simply check in with your thoughts and say, look, where are my thoughts at? Where could I direct them instead? But I've found that apparently CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, which is being aware of your thoughts and kind of directing them a little bit, that's very effortful, especially for someone who is neurodiverse. It can make you kind of neurotic about it, like overthinking a lot. And it just can be, sorry, I'm sweating. It just can be tiring to do. So apparently it's a lot better for neurodiverse people and people with anxiety and mental health as well to do more embodiment things, more things with the body. So getting your body moving helps to clear your thoughts and take the focus off the mind, because you need to be putting effort into moving your body. And I find that is good for, like I said before, the emotions as well, because I'm getting all the good hormones pumping through my body, and I don't have those negative thoughts getting any stress hormones in the body. And also something for the mind as well. I like to take my mind off things. Sometimes exercise is enough. Sometimes I'll listen to a podcast or an audiobook. I've started reading sometimes fiction books because it's a little bit of a treat, or motivational audios, or like I said, the EFTs, just something that kind of directs my thoughts and helps guide them a little bit, so I can kind of vague out and think a little bit. But I feel like in the morning, my thoughts need that guidance. It hasn't always been the case, but I guess with parenting and stuff like that, or maybe just where I'm at in life, I do find it really helpful, especially with the ADHD brain. as a side note, I also like to listen to podcasts in the car because I find it really helps me focus on driving rather than letting my thoughts go all over the place. My thoughts are on driving and on the podcast, on driving and on the podcast. And very rarely they'll go to an extra place because that podcast acts as a catch for my thoughts, and directs my thoughts back to the podcast. Whereas I find if I'm listening to music, they just kind of vague out all over the place. With the morning routine, some people like to exercise with music. I'm a bit picky with music. I get sick of it quickly, but I've been doing that occasionally lately as well, and I find that can be really fun to do, and my thoughts don't go too many places because I'm also doing something physical with my body. So just find what works for you, find what it is you want to achieve in the mornings, and there are lots of different ways to do this. I do recommend using your morning time as an alignment time, but it could be something completely different for you. Instead of exercise, you might wake your body up in a different way, like having a shower. It has all that sensory feedback to your body to wake yourself up and to kind of even yourself out, and regulate your emotions as well. Showers can do that. Or you might like to do alternative things like dry body brushing and the face rolling things and whatever it may be. But I really encourage you to find the things that work for you, because I don't think that advice on morning routines, like general advice, works for all neurodiverse and especially ADHDers, because it can be a lot. And hearing all those ideas can sound good to us, and then maybe we try and do all the ideas because we hyper focus and we try and do them all at once, but then it gets so overwhelming that we end up doing nothing. So just pick and choose and feel free to go through phases. Allow yourself to go through phases. I truly believe that it is a really important ADHD strategy, I guess, and just self-care and just going with the natural flow of ADHD, allowing yourself to have these phases and to swap out hobbies and to come back around to them. That's perfectly fine, and don't let people shame you for not following through on a particular thing or not following through with a hobby. It's just for fun. It's your life. So if you want to swap and change, that's completely fine. If you do find the benefit, see the benefit, and understand the benefit of having a morning routine, then definitely block out space in your routine for your morning routine, but change it up. Sit down and journal if that's what you're into at that time, or do EFT, or go for a walk, or go for a swim at the beach, or go for a roller skate, or do dance aerobics, or make up your own dance, or do stretches, or get up and do one downward dog a day, or get up and listen to a motivational audio, or lie in bed and listen to a hypnosis, or get up and just say 3 gratitudes. Or also, I love, I think it was Rhonda Byrne says she gets up in the morning and all her steps to the bathroom, she says, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm alive, I'm awake today. There are endless possibilities, and especially where the online space is at the moment, all this personal development stuff, all the mindset stuff, all the high vibe stuff, all the positivity, all the manifestation, all the spirituality stuff, so many ideas. So pick and choose and find what works for you. Like I say, what works for me is something for my body, something for my mind, and both of those work for my emotions. So whatever it may be for you. And I find it really helpful to have my book of life. It's kind of like a bullet journal, but it's just like lists of things that are long-term, that don't change year to year. So I've got like my human design in there and my family's human design, books that I've read, whatever other things that I want to remember about myself and about my life. So in there I have like different self-care routines, different morning routines, different exercises that I like all in different lists. And also I have, what's it called? My secret shifters. I can't remember where I got this from, but secret shifters are things that you do them and they shift your energy like that, shift your mood just like that. And they always work for you. So whether it be like a relaxing bath or going roller skating or just going outside or having your favorite drink, just things that always get you in that mood, and that sort of thing can be good for your mornings as well. I don't drink coffee, so there's no like particular drink I have in the morning, but that is part of my morning routine as well, is having a drink of water, or for a while I had a vitamin drink, or this like fruit powder that's meant to be good. And protein powder is what I'm having at the moment, a chocolatey protein powder, which is a nice treat when I wake up. Just whatever helps your day start out right. So something for your body, something for your mind, maybe something for your heart and emotions too, like a drink, but don't overcomplicate it. You can do a list of all those things, like I just said, brain dump it out, and then just listen to your heart and listen to your intuition and listen to where your ADHD brain is taking you, what interests it at the moment. And if you want to change and find something new, just change and find something new. Don't feel like you have to follow the advice out there from other people about the length of time or what things need to be included in your morning routine, because we are totally different and each one of us is different. And we just have to roll with that and find what works for us. So I hope that helps. I'm just going to have a sip. So to summarize, block out that time in the morning, write down the different things you want to do. You might want to do it for 30 days. You might want to do it for a week. You might want to just change it up whenever you get sick of it and bored of it, or find something absolutely completely new and different to add to it. But it's just so hot up here. It's such a hot day. But if you do something in the morning, it is really good for you. It keeps your mind, your emotions on track, and helps with your emotional regulation throughout the day. So definitely recommend doing something, and no shame when you change it up and you don't follow through with a particular thing. All right, I hope that's been helpful. Make sure, just keep in mind you have that beautiful ADHD brain. It works a little bit differently sometimes, so don't let that mainstream advice feel like you're doing things wrong. You can definitely do it in the way that suits you, and there is always a way that suits. Okay, I am going to go downstairs because this upstairs room is so hot, and I've spent the day at the beach, which was lovely, and I am so glad to be building up this momentum, talking to you guys about this kind of stuff. I like to do an EFT to link to each podcast, so I'll have to think about the EFT that links to this one. Oh, okay. I'm going to do an EFT. Okay, usually I do an EFT to work on the belief and the strategy that I've taught, but this EFT is going to be an EFT for you to use based on the strategy. Oh, it's so obvious. Okay, it's going to be an EFT to set you up for a really great day full of alignment and emotional regulation and whatever else. So I look forward to that. That will be in the Energy Empress portal, or whatever I'm going to call it technically. And the link will be in the show notes. I hope you have a lovely day and are an ideal temperature wherever you are. Okay, I'll see you in the next video or inside Energy Empresses. Bye.